Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the First Spiritualist Church of Onset, Mass. Our Sunday services usually begin at 6:30. We are pre-recording this so that we will be able to offer at 6:30 our normal hours. Today is a special day around the world for spiritualists. It is the date of the modern commencement of modern spiritualism. And the date is 1848, March 31st. So it's a celebration for the world, for those who believe that life doesn't just stop here, that life is continuum. And we prove that through mediumship, which we'll be offering you this evening. But it is a celebration because during these times especially, when we are tested, and when we're tested to have faith, and faith that there's a power greater than us, and also help beyond than what we can see in front of us, as all the folks that are in the spirit side are around us, helping us at this time. So at that note, we would like to offer you to our website, which is www.church1.org. If you have any questions about what our religion's about or what we do here, please go and view. We also have, starting out with our service this evening, we would like to put out there an invocation that we send out loving thoughts to all those that are in need, that we ask that this service be guided and so that we can offer upliftment to one another during these times. I'd like to also offer something for you to ponder about, and that would be our reflection. So we have Lisa will be doing our reflection this evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
The reading is from The Wisdom of Sundays, Life-Changing Insights from Super Soul Conversations with Oprah Winfrey. Carolyn Mice. Do you ever have that in an argument with someone where you get so fired up and you think, oh, I could just say this, and all of a sudden a voice says, you sure you want to do that? Because it's a game changer if you say that. That's grace. The grace that comes in and says, you can never take it back. The voice that comes in and says, I'm going to prevent you from doing something really ruinous right now. That's grace. Here's grace. Grace is the kind of thing that comes in and says, you'll be all right, and goes away. Grace is the kind of thing that says, put your hand on that person for just a minute, and you could feel an energy go through you, and an energy calm them down. And it doesn't give you an examination. When you are flushed with worry and you think, am I going to be all right? And then you suddenly know, yes you are. Grace is a power that comes in and transforms a moment to something better.
Thank you, Lisa. That was very powerful and something that we can utilize now as we move forward with all the situation that's going around us. We're going to be tested. Our temperaments are going to be elevated at times when we allow fear to come in. And again, it is reality what's happening in front of us. But if we utilize the ability to think different and think of what we want, not what we don't want. So at that note, we're entering into our sort of reflective time, and we are lucky to have Russell Kramer with us this evening. He's a musician and he has many talents, and he will be offering us a beautiful prelude. So sit back and let yourself assimilate everything that was said by Lisa, and with the beautiful background music. Thank you. Thank you, Russell. was absolutely beautiful, Russell, and I'm hoping everybody just sat down and just kind of let yourself go. And because that is what we really need this now. We need that time to let go and let God and come into a serene place. So normally during our church service, we have a hymn. We're not doing everything exactly like we normally do. We have a declaration of principles that we go by. You can look on our website and you can go over them, and we try to implement in our lives on a daily basis to keep us balanced and whole. So this is the time that we would, after a hymn, to go into a nice meditation. And before we do that, we have a healing prayer that we say every Sunday. And this prayer is powerful. And as we say this prayer, and I'll say it as slow as I can. As we say this prayer, think about all the people in your life right now that could use this prayer, and that you want to intend that all those in the spirit side, the angels, infinite, all just send healing and energy to everyone in the world right now, the universe, all the workers, all those that are helping save lives, all those that continue to be encouraging to those that are here, that are helping people not to be too fearful, they're helping people through their anxieties. We ask that this healing prayer goes out to all of them and everyone on our healing list that we have, thoughts or things. So visualize these folks in the world. See beautiful light going out to all, violet flame, whatever choice of healing modality you want to use. This is a very powerful prayer. I ask the unseen healing force to remove all obstructions from my body and my mind, and to restore me to perfect health. I ask this in all sincerity and honesty, and I will do my part. I ask this great unseen healing force to help both present and absent ones who are in need of help, and to restore them to perfect health. I put my trust in the love and the power of God. So wherever you are right now, just allow yourself to be, whether you're sitting up or laying down, as we go into a meditation. And normally we would have a hands-on healing during this time. But again, meditation is powerful. It can heal your cells. It can do many things. So allow yourself to get comfortable. Perhaps uncross your legs and your arms. And together, let's take a nice deep breath in. And as you take the breath in, pull it from your solar plexus and hold. 1, 2, 3, and release. Release and let go of any worries, any cares. For it is in this moment, it is in the stillness that we commune with our higher self, which is infinite. So allow yourself to let the busyness of your day just to become peaceful. Be here now, for it is in the now that we create. So as your body starts to soften, let's take another nice deep breath in. Pull the energy from your solar plexus and holding 1, 2, 3, and release. Release and let go. Let all the cares and the worries and the fears just roll off your body and out of your mind. And see you just go relinquishing into the earth. Let go and let God. And as your body starts to soften, all the bones and the muscles of your body start to soften. And you realize that you've been tense and uptight. Let's take another nice deep breath in. Pulling the energy from the solar plexus, reaching it up, holding it. 1, 2, 3, and release. Feels so wonderful when we release and we let go. Let go for this moment. For we create in the moment. And what is it that we want to create? Peace on earth. Good health to all men. bubble of light above the roof of wherever you are. And this bubble of light is shining down from the many healing realms above us, from the spirit side, the spiritual abodes that hold the highest of energies. See this beautiful light cascading down the very roof that you're under, coming down and touching the crown of your head. And as it touches the crown of your head, you have an instant Christ awakening. And this light comes into every cell of your brain and releases and relinquishes any negative thoughts, any negative vibration, so that your thought and your mind is crystal clear to only knowing that love is real. Soften your temples as the light comes down and through your pupils, so that you can see in your brothers and sisters the light going out and seeing only the light in them, which is the highest and best good. So that you see the divine spark in your brothers and sisters, clearing your sight. And as this light continues down, as you relax the jaw, and the light goes into the funnel of your throat, it clears any stuck words or energy in the throat. It releases them quickly into this pure, beautiful light of blue shade, so that Infinite can work through you, speak through you. In the higher realms, the knowledge comes to us, and then we speak it when we're in our divine self. So allow the throat to be clear, so that Infinite can use you as a channel of love to one another, to the world. And as this light continues down to the front and the back of your chest, it opens a stargate of light, and a beautiful purple ray surrounds your heart into a beautiful heart shape. And your heart opens 2 doors like a bulkhead would open, and a floodgate of golden ray comes out of your heart, beyond your room, beyond the house or wherever you are, into the universe. Your light spreads out, and it's golden, the highest of all the metals. And so when we send out the vibration of health, good health and light and healing into the universe, it's golden. So allow this light to break down walls of you loving others, or them into love you, and for you forgiving yourself and forgiving others. Let go. Now this light continues down around your solar plexus, your inner organs, brightening the channel of your sense of self-esteem and your sense of purpose, brightening, enlivening you, rejuvenating you, healing and restoring all muscle tissue and cells into the highest vibration for that which is only for your best and highest good. And allow this light to cascade down through your hips, down through your thighs, your knees, healing and restoring, down through your calves and your shins, to your ankles. And the light extends out through your feet, through your toes, like roots from a tree. And your roots go right down, permeating steadily, faster and faster, down into Mother Earth, until it reaches the core. And Mother Earth sees your light, and she surrounds your roots with her roots, and starts to steadily come into your roots, and come up through your roots, each and every layer of the ground of earth, coming up steadily, fast, quickly, till it breaks into the very floor your feet are on, and into your toes. Mother Earth branches up through your whole torso, and you start to feel expanded, and you start to feel that you're going beyond the walls and up through the very roof and into Father Father Sky. And now you have connected Mother Earth and Father Sky. And feel yourself so exhilarated, so buoyant, and so expansive. And inside, there's a light so bright within you, like you would see an aura around a candle flame. Now see that light expand within you, through your whole body, through every pore of your body, from front to back, right to left, top to bottom, until you feel that you're a ball of light. And in this vibration of light, there is nothing but love, and nothing but whatever's for the best and highest good. And send that light out to others. You can stay in this vibration for as long as you choose. And know, when you send love out, it comes back tenfold. And when you send the light of health out into the universe, it can truly, if it's for the best and highest good, heal others. So allow yourself to gently, if you choose to, come back to the room that you're in, gently coming back, feeling awakened, feel your fingers and your toes. And when you're ready, just open your eyes to the present moment. Take a few seconds as we move into our segment with our lecture. So as we opened our church service this evening, thank you, Russell, so much for your beautiful music. That in itself is worth tuning into. As we open this evening, this is a glorious day, a day that has mapped for 72 years, proven that we have communication with the other side. And this is a day to reckon and a day to start working with your spirit loved ones on the other side. If you do not understand what that means, it means we prove the continuity through our communication with spirit, through bringing in loved ones, through the mediumship. And back in the day, in the 18th centuries, people met in their houses and they would work together to communicate with the life after. And it all started in Hyattsville, New York, back in several 1848, when they actually commenced the note for modern spiritualism through three lovely children, Mr. and Mrs. Fox. And they, imagine this, they were in a home and they were not knowing about the life after, but Mrs. Fox happened to be sort of modern for her time, and her children heard rappings on the wall. And during that time, the children were excited and were wondering what it was, and it's an unfoldment in a story that you should really look at, because it took such bravery as Mrs. Fox was communicating with this rapping noise. And I won't say the whole story because you can read about it, but it makes me think about us now, that we are challenged to believe that this too will pass, that we are taken care of and we are watched out by our loved ones and those master teachers and those guides on the spirit side. We have a heaven full of doctors and nurses and caretakers and scientists. In fact, it's been proven so far, it didn't take us very long that we already have a quick testing to whether we have the virus or not. And we already have a machine that can transform the masks that we have, instead of throwing them away, they can be rejuvenated. Where do you think this information comes from? Where do we get our information? And we believe it's from the other side, that we're enticed, the higher intelligence. And we also believe that if we put it out there in thought, if we ask, we shall receive. Knock and the door is opened unto you. This is the time to call upon all the healing guides right now to help us and assist us, to help us in our daily basis. When we get up in the morning, if we put it out there to our guides and all those in the spirit side, help me to make the right choice today. How may I be of service? Who is it that you admire that's in the spirit world right now? Call upon them for help. What is it that you need right now? Whether it's help with a project, whether it's help even purchasing something, we have guides for everything. And it's been proven. We wouldn't be able to be existing for 172 years as spiritualists if we didn't prove something. People wouldn't still be going to the churches. And there wouldn't be so many out there now that are working on their own as mediums if this wasn't true. It's time to wake up. It's time to know that you have the ability to ask and receive guidance. And this is something that we would put out today for everyone. We are not alone. So if you're sequestered in your home and you're feeling down and out, just ask and wait and see, and you will be answered. There are too many books out there now, too many, so many, that prove the continuity of family members saying, I heard from my loved one. I know it's them. So this is the time to, yes, feel your emotions. Don't stuff them. Cry or feel the experience that you need to experience. But don't allow yourself to stay there where you can't function. Don't allow you to stay there without doing something positive to help you to shift out of it. So, in fact, even today, we had a doctor, and it's going to be on our, when we get it all done, we had a doctor that was talking about how you deal with anxiety, because this can cause anxiety. So there's so much out there on the web right now that you can access to help yourself, so you don't feel alone. And you don't stay in fear. It's hard to see what's on there. It's hard to see when people are saying doctors are crying and nurses are crying and people are crying because they lost their loved ones. It's hard. We need to balance it. We're always in duality, love or fear. And a really good prayer is the 23rd Psalms. Even though I walk through the valley of death, I fear no evil. We have choice, and our choices are many. So don't feel stuck. Don't feel alone, and reach out. And may we all be in peace when it's needed at this time. God's blessings. And now we have a beautiful time to raise the vibration, to prove the continuity of life through a wonderful music by our musician here, Russell Kramer. So just to give, again, when we do mediumship, it is very important for the medium to be in a higher level. We do our prayers, we ask for connection, we raise our vibration. For those in the spirit side, this vibration here is dense and hard, as we know, and can be struggling. In the spirit side, it's bada boom, bada bang, quick, the energy. And we have to raise ourselves up a little for them to be able to communicate and reach each other. So we are gifted this evening to have our wonderful musician, again, Russell Kramer, to do an uplifting song before mediumship. Thank you. Thank you, Russell. Thank you, Russell. That was wonderful. I felt like butterflies and birds were flying in the air, so it's really wonderful. And so again, this is where we prove the continuity of life. So I have a lovely lady that's coming in here. Well, you know, I don't want to say she's not lovely. I feel in her lifetime, she struggled. I think she struggled emotionally, she's telling me. And she's on the smaller side and thin-boned. And she also was somebody that used to cut out newspaper articles and things like that. I don't know if she had scrapbooks or anything like that, but she would definitely has newspaper articles that she would have, and I feel a mother with her, and I feel that, I believe I'm feeling and sensing also that she was probably at least in her 60s, before she passed in the spirit side. And I believe also that that she was somebody that was sort of sequestered in her own way in her life, because I feel like she was alone a lot, and oftentimes she would be kind of choosing to do that because she had a lot of resentments in her life about, she was hurt very much, I believe, by somebody in her life. And she was never able to get over that. It just she kind of kept a grudge. She's telling me that she is seeing things differently now. It took a long time for her to go through that forgiveness. I feel like also she either loved to look at the water, and I see a beautiful scenery. The Spirit's just taking me to the beautiful clouds here. But I feel like in her lifetime, she did enjoy the water and going near the beach and so forth. But she wouldn't mind being by herself. And I keep on getting a shoehorn. And so a gentleman steps in behind her, and he would have had one of those hats with the rim on him. And I believe it was either her father or the father of whoever this message is coming to. And as he comes in, he has a long trench coat, and I feel he was a business kind of guy. He either worked for a corporation or something like that. And he is showing me that they lived together, okay? So at some point they did live together, and I feel like this woman is kind of, I don't want to say subservient, but she'd go about making supper or doing things and putting on the table, and then she would just go off on her own. It was just a quiet house. There was not a lot of communication. So both of these folks that are coming in, I feel that they're coming in a time where there needs to be some kind of, for who this goes to, there needs to be some kind of straightening out, straightening out within the home and how things run in the home. And this that you're contemplating, I don't believe it's a physical moving around, but you're contemplating to how can I make this work? How can I make this situation work? And it requires some emotional shifting of thoughts and so forth. And it's going to appear to be difficult at first, but eventually it's going to work. So don't give up. And there's lots of love and blessings from this loved one from the spirit side. Okay, so it comes to be the name Grace. And even though it was in our saying reflection, I feel a woman's coming here that would have had that name Grace, okay? So as she comes in here, I feel like she herself is like sort of a pioneer. I feel a motherly energy with her, sort of your grandmother or a mother. And I feel like her hair, I see her hair, I should say, was kind of not too thin, just not very, very thick, but sort of what thin, and had it around her face here. And I feel she has a sort of like a little point, a little chin that's got a little bit of a point to it. So she was kind of like dainty in her own way, but middle-sized. And as she comes in, I feel the color blue with her. I feel like she would just be so excited to see family. Her heart was always open. She would always have things in the cabinet. I see those old kind of canisters, round ones. So Christmas cookies would go in there. Those would, different times, I feel like folks would come to visit her more than she would visit them. So I feel like if this is a grandmother, it would be like you would come to her house. And I feel also that she is showing me that she would sew, because I see a sewing machine here. She would be doing patch quilts, things like that. I feel like she would probably help at a time like this too, because she was very giving that way. I feel that, I feel her legs, there was something going on with her hip or her leg. I don't know if she had hip problems. But I feel she's showing me one side of her bones here were kind of really hard or brittle, and that kind of took her down, and then she really couldn't do a lot. I feel like she was in her, I feel like I'm still relatively young, but I mean I could be still doing everything, but this had taken her down, and so feeling like maybe in her 60s, early 60s, and I see her as bedridden here. But I feel like family would come and she would love tea. She would like to have tea, and she'd like to be, at least listen to the family and listen to what's going on. And I feel that my feelings are she passed in this way and in this fashion. And I feel also that she is coming with lots of love. She's coming with like music, like wanting you to, I don't know if you play music, but I feel like she's trying to say, this is the time to sing, to play music, to do all the things that you want to do. It's time, even though it appears differently, that this is the time to do all the creative things that you normally would always wish and want to do. And she's coming in with lots of blessings with this. And Easter was a pivotal time. Easter was celebrated, and I see a beautiful egg here, and that she's just saying that it's time for plenty. And there's lots of love in the spirit side from her. I also feel that I have a beautiful dog that's coming in here, believe it or not. I don't know if it still links with this person, but it's a good-sized dog, and the dog was really a family dog and really loving. So I feel like this might go along with it also. All right, and let's see who else is coming in here. I'm getting a mic. And the way he's coming in is kind of like, I feel like I'm extending my body up to about this tall. A good set of hair. really kind of a charismatic kind of guy. Laugh, have fun. He was just, I mean, he was a lookup, and he had like a really charismatic smile to him. And I don't get him that old before he went to the spirit side. I feel it's under 60. And I feel that he was somebody that I want to go, I worked hard. I feel like I had boots and stuff like this, and I worked hard, and then I come back and I rest for a while. I don't know if he had anything to do with working with boats or something like this, or on the boats for fishing. I'm not clear on that, but it feels like it. I feel also that he's just really a kind of cool kind of guy. He would sit back when he got home and he'd call his buddies and he'd go out. He's kind of, there's two sides of him. He's kind of a mellow guy yet kind of outspoken too. So as he comes in, he would be funny. He'd say that he's picking up his boots and taking the water out of them. So he did definitely at some point work on boats or do something, because he's just putting the water out of it. But he always had an upbeat way about him. He was always upbeat. And let's see what the message that he would like to say. Okay. I feel like he's saying there's some creative endeavors that are going on. I feel like he's saying you're creating some boundaries. We can do that with walls. We can do that with boundaries, or we can do with that actually objects. But there are going to be some boundaries that are going to be needed or wanted, so that it would make it easier for all concerned. And I feel that the person that this message goes to would understand what that means. It's time to set up those boundaries. It's time, whether it's physical or it's emotional, and setting up your grounds. And I feel that there's lots of love and blessings. He's showing me that he might have had a gold tooth or a chipped tooth, and that might be evidence too. And so there's lots of love and blessings from the spirit side. And I feel at this point, I'm going to allow spirit to we're backing off here. So I'm grateful for everybody to watch this evening. And also don't forget to look, how did modern spiritualism start? The Fox sisters, look online, you'll see it. And you'll see it all over the internet, because today is that special day. And don't forget that you yourself can connect with the spirit side. If you have a loved one that came in for you, just like and let us know, okay? And we're grateful for this time. Thank you, Lisa, for your production here, and also Russell Kramer. And we're grateful to have this time together. The blessings of spirit.